Yeah. A very good afternoon to everyone, and welcome to our session on trade and services in the context of COVID-19. On behalf of the Confederation of Indian Micro, Small and Medium Enterprises, I extend a warm welcome to our guest speakers today, Dr. Abhay Sinha, who is the Deputy Director General for Services Export Promotion Council, Mr. Gopinath Rao, who will join us shortly. He is the Deputy Director for MSME DI, Government of India, Mr. Ashwani Kumar, who is the Chairperson for NOT, Federation of Indian Export Organization, and also the Vice Chairman for GCPIT, and also Mr. Siabulela Skade, who is the Chairperson for African Continent GCPIT, who will be joining us shortly, and Mr. Jiten Shah, who is the Chairperson for India GCPIT. I extend a warm welcome and thank you for joining us on today's auspicious occasion. So my name is Mishma Stanislaus, and I'm the Chief Global Communication Officer for CIMSME and GCPIT, and I take great pleasure in moderating today's event. So for those joining in for the first time today, I would like to share a brief introduction on CIMSME. So the Confederation of Indian Micro, Small and Medium Enterprises, CIMSME, the Global Council for Cluster Excellence and Research, GCCER, the Global Council for the Promotion of International Trade, and the International Council for Technology, Management and Applied Engineering, ICTMAE. These are a group of not-for-profit organizations, and we're the fastest growing entrepreneurial support network in the country. And we're currently a national business network of 9,324 leading entrepreneurs. We are the go-to organizations for micro, small, and medium enterprises, for startups, womenpreneurs, solopreneurs, studentpreneurs, and other entrepreneurship support organizations who are dedicated to nurturing unique business in their communities. And some of the services includes networking opportunities with other business organizations, with financial institutions, with educational institutes, government bodies, non-government organizations, participation in industrial missions, symposiums, seminars, workshops, trainings, and so on and so forth. So it is great to have you all, the participants, joining us today. And today, in collaboration with CIMSME, the Services Export, requesting the other speakers to kindly go on mute. Yes, thank you. So today, in collaboration with the CIMSME, the Services Export Promotion Council is conducting the session on trade and services in the context of COVID-19. So SEPC is an export promotion council. It is set by the Ministry of Commerce and Industry, Government of India, and it is an apex body that facilitates service exporters of India. And this is the only export promotion council catering to the entire services sector exports. Our guest speaker, Dr. Abhay Sinha, will talk more on this. And I would like to give a few introductory lines to Dr. Abhay Sinha. He is presently heading the SEPC as the Deputy Director General, and he has over 22 years of experience in various organizations under the Ministry of Commerce and Industry and CIIE. The core areas have been international trade regulations, policy and strategy, market research, and international trade information services. Prior to joining SEPC in March, he has worked as a Senior Director at Pharmaceuticals Export Promotion Council of India, Pharmexil. In a career spanning 12 years in Pharmexil, he took numerous initiatives like the Brand India Pharma campaign, the Central Portal for Authentication and Validification of Exports of Drugs from India, Ayurveda, international outreach for market development, and creating a Brand India Pharma exhibition, IFEX. He has also been part of the joint working group. So, yes, sorry for the disturbance there. So he's been part of the joint working groups and joint trade commission formed for promotion of exports between countries. And he has represented Pharmexil in all working groups of departments of commerce and pharmaceuticals on pharma exports. He has handled markets like North America, Europe, the Latin America and Caribbean, Japan, Australia, New Zealand, CIS, and ASEAN countries. Prior to joining Farmexcel, he has headed the Western UP zone of CIIE based at Noida, besides taking charge as state head UP in the year of 2007. And he has also been associated with various projects of Export Promotion Council, UNCTAD setting up of Trade Point in Kathmandu, Coffee Board branding and international market development, and many other organizations. So it is a privilege to have you with us today, Dr. Abhay Sinha. And on that note, I would like to invite you to take over and talk on the trade and services in the context of COVID-19 and also about the SEPC membership. So over to you, sir.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Meshima. And this was quite an elaborate introduction. I thought you'll just pick up a few points out of that. Anyway, thanks once again. And I am really privileged to share the platform with everyone else, all the distinguished speakers. And this is my first interaction with CGPIT, your organization. And I would definitely like to thank you for giving us the opportunity to share the platform and address your membership. And we feel that in the times of COVID and beyond that also post-COVID, and as the scenarios emerges with more positivity, we definitely will have much more interaction. And this synergy will definitely bring a lot of benefits to the industry. Now, before I go ahead and give a presentation on SEPC, a few points. You see, like I joined the council at a very difficult time. I mean to say, just 1 week after joining, there was a lockdown. So, I actually graduated in the council with difficulties related to COVID. So, and the impact of COVID on services is manifold. Manufacturing and other sectors are there to revive, and they will revive soon. But what it is always said that, in case of COVID or these kind of pandemic, the disruption is caused to the services sector more than any other sector. And the first disruption happens in the services sector itself. You see, the moment the COVID arrived, there was a scare all over the world. Travel and tourism, was off the agenda of many ones. Aviation. So there was a kind of, graded lockdown happening in all service areas. And this will be the last sector to get recovered. So that is the impact, it will be the last sector. Of course, certain IT-enabled services, we could see the surge because there was no alternative. So if we look at the positive side, the kind of revolution, IT revolution in terms of, more applications, virtual applications, as I mean to say, that would have taken some more time. But because of the impact, this was one of the positive disruption happening, where we are all, trying to, initially we tried to grapple with the scenario, but we all overcame. And we started having exchanges, networking through these platforms available. So there is definitely a very positive disruption on the parts of IT and ITS. But the sectors which had major disruption in the negative way had been travel and tourism, construction, initially, now also trying to recover. Then you have education, healthcare sector, very much impacted. So despite having all these things, there is one more positivity which has emerged in case of services exports from India, and for which this council has been mandated, with a lot of responsibilities. Despite all these disruptions, it is actually a very positive news which I wanted to share, is that services sector has actually reached reached the last year's performance on the exports, almost 90 to 92% of the exports which was done last year, pre-COVID phase. So that's a very good sign that, we will be definitely on the roads to recovery, and there will be much better growth. This is also one of the sector which has always been, growing, except for slump in the last 2 decades, 1 or 2 year, there was a slump. And this sector contributes close to, more than 50% in the GVA, global value addition, what we say. So that way, the kind of recognition which this sector should have was missing and is still missing. We are trying. We are trying to get this recognition, be given to the services sector. Normally, we always end up having our comparison with manufacturing sector. But these two sectors are quite apart. Of course, there are services for manufacturing sector as well, like research and development and technology transfer, all those things, construction. They also play a huge role in manufacturing. Somehow, we are striving now with renewed zeal, SEPC is trying to garner those credible brownie points about the contribution to the Indian economy. And having said that, India also has got a very good presence in services sector in overseas. And we have been one of the largest exporter of services to the world. In fact, if I recall, we are having the number 8 position in overall exports of services. And there are about 17 services sector which has been mandated to SEPC, which also covers about 12 champion sectors, which was identified by the Department of Commerce through a cabinet decision, and where the government is pulling all its resources and trying to develop the competence level. And there we do play a major role in developing those synergies, in developing the competence. And this brings me to the presentation, which I think I should make with the attendees. I would request Mishima, is there any way to, because yes, I can see the preview, how do I?
You can just click on start the presentation, sir.
That is where it starts. Okay. Yeah.
Yes.
I think the screen is quite visible. Yeah.
Yes, it's visible, sir. Yes.
Okay. Thank you so much. Yeah. You see, this is what I just said. We are covering 17 sectors. 12 of them on the right-hand side, you'll find in the yellow background. We have champion sectors, which are mainly tourism and hospitality, medical value tourism, which is also a part of, larger arena of healthcare, transport and logistics, which covers maritime transport, accounting and finance services, audiovisual, that is also a part of the entertainment sector as a whole, or AVGC as we call it. Then we have legal services, construction and related engineering services. Besides that, IT and ITS has also been there. Communication services, financial services, which is somewhat different from the accounting services. Education, which has been given due, importance, and a lot of significance has been attached to this particular sector. The new education policy has also, a well-defined and dedicated para or the chapter on the internationalization of Indian education services. Given this background, you see, we were formed in 2006, relatively a very young organization and relatively a very new team when compared with other councils, and also the only council to cater to the services sector. Of course, few does take care of the services as well, but this sector with the entire gamut of the services is the only council among 28 export promotion council which have been established, either by majority of them by Department of Commerce, some of them by various other ministries. Now you see, as a council, our major role is to have an activity as defined in the very first row you find, that is trade intelligence, which normally we mean market information, which if I further classify They are trade information, market analysis, business contacts, business opportunities, market access conditions. Now, these are the services which the council is providing to other members. Of course, we are having our own inherent strength and weaknesses in the delivery or in the collation and collection of some of the services and dissemination. But as organization grows, we are trying to strengthen every aspect of the trade intelligence services which are expected to be provided to our members as well as to the industry as a whole. Export development, often we do get confused with the export development and export promotion. For the benefit of your members and attendees, I'd like to mention that here, export development is more microscopic, or it's more, going to the micro detail. Excuse me. Here we are talking about developing, any entrepreneur or developing any organization for exports. So that's why we have the services on export readiness, training and counseling, giving them the idea of the market, the strategy formulation, development, just picking up the companies, whatever services, specific services they would require, and how their value chain can be optimized for becoming competitive in the global marketplace. The second one, which is very important, the third one, in fact, which is very important, is export promotion. Now, we have also been given the mandate for investment promotion as well. Like we are talking about FDI and other things, and that will also, in turn, will help the export growing from the country. In export promotion, normally we all know that buyer-seller meet, reverse buyer-seller meet, where we do invite foreign buyers to India and do a kind of networking, exhibitions, webinars, right now webinars or virtual B2B. So all those elements are a part of export promotion initiatives or activities which we are expected to do. And the last one is actually very, very important when we talk about enabling business environment. Now, this is important because it covers actually, like all the trade regulated related issues, where we talk about market access barrier, where we talk about, engaging with the overseas or destination country government about the rules and regulations, which may not be favorable to India, but, somewhere trying to facilitate, trying to talk to them, trying to, bridge a gap between the regulatory procedures, between the regulatory understanding, between the registration process, so many other policy advocacy related issues, facilitating cross-border trade related issues, through various forums like JTCEG, Joint Working Group, and, there are various MOUs which are signed, and networking with various related government organizations. And also, like, if you look at how do we formulate our own foreign trade policy. So all those policy inputs and facilitation related activities are done under enabling business environment, part of the services which are expected. Council is trying to, provide the services on all these, on a broader canvas. In some cases, we are definitely strong. In some cases, we need to improve. But, for the membership, it all depends on the feedback and the kind of services they expect. And accordingly, we do have our own system to customize and cater to them. Because, just in the same vein, I would like to continue that there is a major concern for the services industry right now, and more in the times of COVID, where the business is almost nil in case of sectors like education, healthcare, and travel and tourism, which is the most disrupted or distressed sector right now, is concern on the incentives which are being provided by our Department of Commerce or Ministry of Finance or Department of Revenue. And that is ACIs, that is Services Exports Incentive Scheme. And most of our members and, in general, they associated with the services sector or with the council or with FIO maybe only for getting those benefit. But I would like to clarify again that, any incentive can come and go. The services of the council will remain, will be there to add value to your efforts. So take these incentives as a, always as a kind of something which flows. It comes, it goes. Something new will come up and take the place of the earlier scheme, and that is why you have this review and foreign trade policies announced every 5 years, because schemes are bound to change. Now, here also, like the major concern of the services sector, as I just mentioned, is about ACIC scheme. Now, for the, just to inform everyone, and many of them are already well informed, that for 1920, there has been, the notification has not been issued by DGFT. And so there is a lot of concern about the incentives on the exports being done by member companies or being done by the entire services industry, which like in the year 1819, of course, like we are like as through ACPC, we have taken up the representations of our services sector, have been in constant touch with the our Honorable Minister, Mr. Piyush Goyal, as well as DGFT with Department of Revenue. We have taken, there has been some concern, but at the same time, while they might be, thinking to issue the notification, which we don't know. In fact, maybe there is a meeting which will be organized, which will be held on Monday. Minister is going to take the meeting. So we can hear something, but of course, given the recent trend of the communication from the various ministries, you see, we don't know whether the notification will be issued in near future. But at the same time, there is a positive approach that they have asked ACPC to get a study conducted on alternative scheme to ACIs. As you know that the entire manufacturing sector, they were getting this scheme under MEIs, is Merchandise Incentive Scheme. Now that scheme, yeah.
Dr. Ab, I'm sorry to interrupt. Please may I request the other speakers to kindly mute your audios because we have some background noises. So requesting the other speakers to kindly mute. Thank you. Yes, Dr. Ab.
Yeah. So you see, MEIS is migrating towards a new scheme called ROTAP, and where remission on export duty is being taken care by offsetting the taxes and levies and many other aspects, which are easy to quantify, easy to identify in case of merchandise. But in case of services, there are many variables which are not easily identifiable. And so SCPC is getting that study conducted through Ernst & Young, and we will try to develop or come up with an actionable recommendation. So there I would request Mishima, if you can, we'll share the details. You can share those details among your members in the services sector, and we can have valuable input from them. Because right now we are in the the first phase where we are trying to get as much input as possible from the industry. And I'm using this forum to once again appeal to everyone, this is a golden opportunity where the government is trying, to get the scheme formulated by the service sector itself. SCPC being the nodal organization is mandated to get the input the way the industry wants. And of course, there will be a lot of policy matters related to the implementation, the procedural part, whether it contravenes or contradicts any other related policy or not. What will be the role of Department of Revenue or Ministry of Finance? All those things will be taken into account. But it's a kind of industry which needs to voice their own concern on the existing ACIs, the issues which was there. So a lot of learnings are already there in place, in terms of the overlap, in terms of the CPC code or certain services sector being admissible, not being admissible. All those things can be taken care at once. And for the new foreign trade policy, which is expected next year, we should be ready to recommend to the ministry in next 1 or 2 months. So I'm using this forum, and I would request Mishima, if you can follow it up with your members, so that we do get some input from your members as well. Now, I would like to move ahead, and just to mention, you see, like some of the activities which are already done, and very briefly, there has been some flagship event like India Hills Global Exhibition of Services, and like that also we are planning for the next year, being hopeful that a lot of travel will start. Aviation sector will open, and overseas importers or buyers will be allowed to come to our country. And likewise, we may also be able to take delegation from India to any other country, or certain destinations already identified with close coordination with our embassies. So a lot of business opportunities we try to create through the activities which is just mentioned there. I'll move further. You see, now the entire premise of a services sector and the benefit which they could get from SCPC was based on ACIS, unfortunately. And because everybody wanted only to understand ACIS, and that's how they took the membership of fee also and services. But there are many other schemes by Department of Commerce, and not only Department of Commerce. There are schemes by various ministries also that needs to be brought to the notice of the members, brought to the members or the services sector. The entire services sector should be aware of those incentives. So I take this opportunity to bring to to their knowledge the other scheme which is there available with Department of Commerce, and it is actually for all the sectors, not only to the services, but in fact to the merchandise sector as well. And at the same time, this MEI scheme, as we call it, Market Access Initiative, it is also, ministry has also asked some input also, because, this has been there for quite long. And a lot of councils have actually got some of the provisions modified, or some of the provisions, new provisions being added up, in overall structure of the scheme. So here also, while I present, a lot of thoughts I would like to get triggered among the minds of the attendees, so that certain inputs can come. And we also can propose some customization on certain provisions mentioned in the scheme. Now, as the name says, it's Market Access Initiative, where it is totally export-oriented scheme, where certain benefits are given to the exporter directly or indirectly. Some of them I can mention. You see, when we participate in overseas exhibitions, there is a provision of reimbursement of airfare to exporting companies. Now, here it is based on FOB, but of course, like in services sector, the rules are somewhat customized. But, based on your export turnover, certain benefits used to be given. But there is a limit set, like 50,000, 75,000, or 1 lakh. That kind of reimbursement on your airfare is given. The only condition is that the industry, the participants from the industry has to be the member either of FIO or of SCPC to avail this benefit. And it is routed through the council, and they have to participate in the council's organized pavilion. So, if a council is participating in any overseas exhibition and there is a pavilion by council, then all the members having certain turnover of exports below that, they will be given this benefit. As of now, it is limited up to 30 crore rupees, the export turnover. In case of services sector, it could be on FOB, but it could be on net forex earning, but rules are not so defined. But if a rough estimate is being taken, they will actually go by export turnover of 30 crore. This is again, which I just mentioned. Ceiling is 70,000 and 1 lakh for Latin American countries. reverse buyer-seller meet. Now here, the name as it suggests, when we invite overseas buyer to India. Now this is a service. This incentive is given to the council to bring in more and more buyers. So this is not given to the exporter directly, but to give them an opportunity to interact with a large number of overseas importers. This benefit is being given to the council, and a lot of cost is being taken care. The cost of travel of those business visitors. So it is up to 75,000 for any visitor from countries other than Latin America. Then a lot of cost of catalog and other things, display in international departmental stores. I must tell you that most of the councils have not been able to use it because members are not aware of it. And of course, it was, display in international stores is basically, gives kind of, it indicates that it is mainly for the merchandise sector, but it is not so. Like there are certain display stores where services can also be put on display, testimonials and whatever services. But we need to identify in consultation with the members, and then only a proposal goes to the ministry, which is then thereafter taken up in subcommittee, approved in empowered committee. Then only this, benefit comes to the member. Then there is a publicity campaign and brand promotion. This scheme is for the council. Now, council can, councils are given the mandate to promote the brand, to make the entire services sector here also, as a brand services from India. Like in pharma, during the introduction which Mishima gave, she mentioned about Brand India Pharma campaign. So that's a kind of live case study. Likewise, we are also trying to have a kind of, give a kind of branding, say India serves or services from India, like that, So efforts are on to promote the branding of the services from India. Publication in world-class catalogs through council is also the incentive under MAI. Likewise, for research and services sector, there are some provisions where,
Yes. Just a minute, Dr. Hobli.
I'll just take 2 minutes to conclude.
Okay, yes.
Yeah, I can get the presentation shared because, there are certain capacity supported, but we need to understand what kind of capacity building training programs which an individual exporter or set of exporters would like to avail. And this is actually very good for MSME sector. Likewise, there are various schemes and initiatives which the council is taking. And like I'm using this forum once again to request the potential exporters or the existing exporter to avail the membership. Of course, it may be on a higher side, but given the kind of services which we are expected to provide and to create market opportunities, I feel this will be a good platform. And we definitely request your association with the council. And with this, I would like to end my presentation. Thank you so much for giving me this opportunity, and thank you everyone for listening to me very patiently. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, sir, for that great presentation. And definitely we would support and give you the necessary inputs you would require as we had requested from our services industries. And I think before going on to the next session, we will take some questions.
Mishima, I just want to say a few words to Dr. Abe. Sir, your
Yes, sir, please.
presentation is really wonderful, and I must add it to it that these incentives, there is a scheme also that if you want to get your product tested, the government is paying from outside also. And as FIO is the apex body for all the councils, and I'm the Northern Region Chairman, and I feel very proud that your presentation has given me some more good ideas, and which we will also like to offer to CIMSME, that one presentation from FIO will be there, and I think the members should be aware about the FIO also. I think our Delhi office is already in touch with Dr. Santosh, Mr. Santosh, and very soon. Dr. Saab, I'm really impressed about your presentation. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. We look forward to have a greater association. I'm in touch with your Delhi office. Yeah. Thank you so much. And would definitely like to communicate further. Thank you.
So we have we have one question so far. So this is from Mr. Biju. He's asking, what is the scope when it comes to services like consulting, training, or professional services with respect to exports?
I could not hear the first part of it.
What is the scope when it comes to services like consulting, training, or professional services with respect to exports?
In fact, there is a huge scoping. There is. Okay, yeah. No, in fact, professional services are exported a lot from India, and in fact, the many large organization having that professional services being exported. It's huge scope. I don't have the data right now, but I can share much more detail on that.
Vishma, I would like to say on this, there was a lot of representation from service sector to FIO, and FIO has taken up some issues like refund of this IGST refunds, and some special incentive for service industry. I think due to COVID that things are delayed, but sure, I would love to update Dr. Abe also what is going on in FIO on the service sector. There is some move, so there is definitely some move. Service sector, since you are a member, and I think this stick travel, Mr. Goel, he has taken up some points, but at this moment I'm not recollecting, but because I was in the meeting, but definitely in a day or so I will let you know.
Okay, sir. Thank you. So we have another question is, do we need to register with FIEO for services also, or can we do it directly? Do we need to register with FIEO for services, or can we do it directly?
No, it's you are a council member, and in FIO you can have a multi-product membership. For example, Dr. Sinha is exporting some chemicals, and some other person is interested to export something else, and they can have the dual membership in FIO, and since the cost is very high from this council, SCPC, FIO is not that expensive. You can have the same benefits.
In fact, I would like to add to the point. You see, for export, it is not necessary to become a member of any council. It is for the points which I just mentioned, like for market information, for export promotion events, where they can participate. Where councils and FIO, of course, will have always an advantage, and it brings down the cost of participation. So those are the value-added benefit which is accrued by taking the membership. And also one very important point, all these schemes are available only to the members. Okay, to gain CIS benefits, say for example, they have to be besides IEC, they need to have the membership, which we call it RCMC, registration that they need to have either with the council, mandated with the services area or product area, or FIO as mentioned as an apex body. So this is how the things are.
But one benefit is there, Dr. Abhay, that if you are a member of the council, the problems which are through your members can have more information through your council, because the things are coming direct to you. For FIO, the council members are not coming direct to us, but then we take up because I am the member of Engineering Export Promotion Council also. Because engineering sector, there we have our own problems, like on ROTEC and ROSL.
In fact, that's why. Yeah. Yes.
Voice is cracking, doctor.
So because that's why product is specific or service is specific.
Bishma, voice is cracking.
Yes,
Can we hear you?
Hello.
Doctor, please go ahead.
Yeah.
Dr. Abhay?
Is it okay now?
Yeah.
Yes, it's better. It's better, sir. Some technical glitches.
Yeah. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you, sir.
There's here with the connectivity. No, I totally agree, sir. In fact, you see, that's why the product councils or service councils are there. And it becomes very easy for, and they get a platform.
Yes.
Could be subject to specific, service in service. I totally agree. And sometimes any organization take multiple membership also, just to avail these benefits. But of course, for certain statutory benefit has to be availed through one council or one chamber only, or organization like it. There cannot be, the same incentive can be only provided by, either the council or FIO, but not from the multiple agency. But of course, for raising the issues and the concern, these multiple platforms actually works very well for them. And being specifically, catering to the subject, definitely a CPC will always have a much better, connectivity or much better say in policy matters. I totally agree with that, sir. Yeah. Thank you.
That's true. That's true.
So we have another question, and I think we'll complete this session with that. How can we join SCPC? Are there any special criteria for the same? How can we join SCPC? Are there any special criteria for joining SCPC?
In fact, my last slide had the details of the membership fee. And there is actually very basic criteria, of course. Even if they are already exporting, then also they can become the member. If they are not exporting at all, become, for market access information, for market information, they can take the membership. And once they start exporting, also come their way. So there is, of course, there are specific fees to it, registration fee and the membership fee, one time and full time, all these things. So last slide can be shared with your prospective members, and that's what, and there is RCMC, which is there on our website. They can apply online, and they can call Vikrant also, my team members. So it is already we are there. We just a phone away, or click away from the internet, from our book.
Maybe your voice is not coming.
There's no voice.
Sorry.
Voice.
So the question was to avail. Yeah, to avail benefits of FIEO, is membership required? I think this was to clarify the previous question they posted.
But anyway, FIO updates its site every day, and if you go to membership, then it's very clear. See, FIO has a service that during COVID time we have seen there were a lot of amendments coming every day. Every day, FIO is updating their website every evening, and whenever there is any change in any SOP, everything is mentioned on in our FIO website. Just visit FIO site, everything is clear.
Okay, sir, thank you. So with that, I think we'll end the session, and somebody is asked for the slides and the presentation. So yes, you will be getting a recording of the session to your respective emails post 4 hours at the end of the session. So with that, again, Dr. Abhay Sinha, thank you so much for being with us today and sharing such valuable information for our businesses and the service sector in our network.
Thank you so much.
And yeah, we look forward to further collaborations, and we can discuss further on how we can support you by giving the inputs as you had requested.
Yeah, just one question, Dr. Abhay. Who is the chairman nowadays for your council?
Manik Dawar, Mr. Manik Dawar.
Manik Dawar.
Yeah, he's from Spenta Multimedia. And in fact, we informed FIO head office because they still are having in their record Vivek Nair's name as chairman.
Yes, this is what was confusing me.
Yeah. It is Manik Dawar. I'll share his email ID with you.
Oh, thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you.
Mr. 1 minute. I will request you and to Mr. Santosh also. One day we can have a program of presentation of FIO also for all the members. Then I think that next session you can plan it that way also. We have a lot of good benefits for the members.
Sure, sir, sure.
Okay, sir.
We can arrange another webinar for the FIO, especially for FIO and the scheme, which we are going to offer to our members from
Thank
FIO.
You, thank you very much.
That would be good.
Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Abhay.
So with that, I would like to request our next speaker for today, Mr. Gopinath Rao, who is the Deputy Director for MSME DI, Government of India, to please join in and to talk about the support system from the MSME DI perspective. Gopinath, sir?
We can start from the FIO. No worries.
Okay, I think we'll go to yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
that will be better.
Yes, he actually did say that he's held up with other things for today.
Right.
So he will eventually join us. So, okay, with that, we'll ask Mr. Ashwani Kumar, who's the chairperson for North FIEO, to talk on the service export from the manufacturing perspective. Yeah. So a brief introduction about Mr. Ashwani Kumar. Of course, he's not new to us. He's been with us in a lot of sessions. So he's the managing partner for the Victor Forgings, Jalandhar City, and he has traveled across Europe, USA, Middle East, Africa, and Southeast Asia since 1979 for the expansion of his business. And during the past years, he has held various positions in the government bodies. And at present, he was elected unanimously as a regional chairman, the Northern Region of Federation of Indian Export Organizations, sponsored by Ministry of Commerce. He was also elected as the member managing committee of FIEO from 2014 to 2016, and also elected unanimously as the convener of EEPC India from 2015 to 17. And he was also the deputy regional chairman for Engineering Export Promotion Council Northern Region. Mr. Ashwani is also an active member of the Jalandhar Focal Points Industry Association and Secretary of Jalandhar Effluent Treatment Society. In addition, he is the chairman of Jalandhar Management Association and an active member of the chapter Integrated Association of SMEs of India in Jalandhar, and also the secretary of Doba Airport Association, and recently appointed as vice chairperson of GCPIT. So it's great to have you with us again today, Mr. Rashwani Kumar, and over to you, sir.
Thank you very much, Mishma. And let me have something written down. So I just read it out on services. The services have always been embedded throughout the manufacturing value chain. In the recent years of development in the service economy have transformed the way traditional service activities are conducted and have introduced a new service related to use of new technology. Manufacturing firms now have more employees conducting research and development, business information management, and accounting too. Given a huge increase in computational capacity brought about by advances in information and technology, they are also have more employees marketing and advertising, reflecting the expansion of the customer channels of the communication fostered by internet and social media. At the same time, new communication technologies have enabled many effective previously maintained in-house to be outsourced as specialist services providers. As a result of these trends, the manufacturing sector appears to be growing more business service intensive over the time. This increased importance of services, especially marketed in such manufacturing subcontractor subsectors as computer and electronic products, where the services represent a high and growing proportion of input purchased outside the company as well as the activities undertaken in the house. While the change in the pattern of manufacturers' use of services are likely to reflect how firms responded to a very variety of business and economical factors. Three keys driven manufacturing firms use the services are the increase of geographic dispersion of supply chain with the specialization. Firms are seeking opportunities to move low skill production work to low wage location and to concentrate their intellectual property development in high skill locations with favorable regularities environments. The need to cut cost and improve efficiency. The firms are using a variety of new technologies, particularly technologies related to improve production efficiency and lower the cost. The desire to deepen the customer relationship by providing services related to their products, firms for using the new type of services for the better differentiate and customize their products, increasing their opportunities for the premium pricing for improved market positions. These perspectives, competitive gain for encourage manufacturing of to incorporate services at all stages in the product value chain, in the early stages, and the transportation services increased manufacturing productivity by allowing firms to take advantage of global economic scale of use of new process, improving the technology. At a later stage in the chain, integrated services with the manufactured goods into the more tailored products offered allows firm to increase their product differentiation, creating a new business opportunity, additional advantage in particularly internet-enabled services have enabled firms to establish the dynamic feedback loops, allowing them to collaborate with their customers and to deliver more customer customized products. Let us look at China. The reason why China has been number one when it comes to manufacturing is because of it had a cheaper labor. Chinese manufacturing thrived because of their workers worked as at extremely low cost, coupled with other factors like tax laws and import export experiences. Since the past few years, Chinese workers have seen a massive increase in their wages. Consequently, the cost of making products in China has become a lot more expensive than it used to be, which has a significant shrunk in the profit margins. So the cheap labor and embedded service in manufacturing, which was a large extent a great contributor in making China number one. Today in India has extreme low cost of labor compared to China and highly skilled highly skilled working proportions can be instrumented in turning its manufacturing sector upgrade. COVID-19 can be seen as a blessings blessing in disguise for India. The situation has brought its learnings from those in the manufacturing sector, which the worker moved back to their villages and companies not being able to operate to its full strength. They have realized the importance of services of daily workers and their contribution in manufacturing and output. This was something which the manufacturing side had for a long time taken for granted. This pandemic has contributed to the optimum use of IT and its services, where companies are investing in robotic and industrial automation to achieve maximum results. Services are an integral part of the Atmanirbhar Bharat Abhiyan, which translates to self-reliant India or self-sufficient India vision of the Prime Minister Shri Narendra Modi ji of making India a bigger and more important part global economy, pursuing the policies that efficient and competitive and being self-sustaining and self-generating technology-driven systems, economy infrastructure, vibrant demography, and demand are the five pillars of Atmanirbhar Bharat. It is true that India, along with the rest of the world, has suffered a lot due to the recent COVID crisis, but there is a lot to gain if we are alert to the demands of the changing world. Hence, a systematic and strategic approach can put India on the path of enormous economic growth, which will be fueled by its flourishing manufacturing sectors in the year to come. See, definitely, I agree that COVID has taught us a lot. Before, for example, for marketing and so we used to run around the globally. Today, it's more easy for us to make video calls with the customers and show them their product, and we can join the virtual exhibitions. Don't need to travel. Don't need to come directly with the contact of any person. COVID has taught us a lot. In this, I think we should thank to the service sector who are providing us the internet facility and other services which are given in the companies with us. We as a we are producer of hand tools. You see, our unit was a labor-oriented unit, is a labor-oriented unit. But definitely, in a few years before, we invested a lot in the company for a special plating section where we had about 300 persons employed, but some technical persons gave us the services, and we changed and made a new plant, which is now we are only working with 20 people. Definitely, we have to hire, we have to look for the service sector technically, and to come back to the normal from the labor oriented units to the most modernized and mechanized units. This way, I think the industry has a very big future. The service industry and the technical industry, they have very big future for the future. And as we see in the hospitals, the doctors are working less, but we should see the machine. They need the service of the machine. To run this machine, they need technicians. That is, I'm told by a doctor friend that these are done by private companies who are giving us the services and to run these machines, because doctor himself doesn't know anything how to run the machine. He can only see the results. Similarly, in pharma industry, in every industry, this services are really required by all means. With this, I thank CIMSME to give me a chance to be with you, and I hope we will do more for more sessions on different aspects. And thank you very much, Mishima. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Ashwani sir, for again being with us today and giving such wonderful insights. And if you have any questions, I would like to take up now.
Please.
So do we have any questions?
I'm also looking at attendees. No, nothing yet. We can move.
Okay. So yes, and we'll take it up later, sir, if any questions arise.
Sure.
Yes. So thank you so much, sir. So with that, we'll move to our next speaker. I hope Mr. Gopinath Rao is with us. Gopinath sir, can you hear me? Okay. I will try to connect with him offline. Yeah, just 1 minute.
Dr. Abhay, it is very nice. The presentation is very good.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Presentation is very not only good, but it is very useful, because many people doesn't know about this Export Promotion Council and this kind of benefits which we are offering them. It should be marketed well.
Yeah, absolutely. Like, I totally agree. Unfortunately, as I mentioned, we are a relatively young organization, and somehow we missed. There are so many things which
you are young, but we are just a newborn baby.
Thank you so much. Then hand holding is very important.
Yeah, of course. Now we have.
You are doing the best. I tell you, in the shortest possible time. I think as we say, that today's kids are more naughty or more intelligent than we are. And honestly speaking, I'm very happy to be with you on this platform. It's very interesting, and it's important today's scenario that we should know what is MSME. MSME means the power, of course.
In fact, just to add to you, sir, I believe Ministry of MSME, they are also being very proactive these days. And I have my friends in NSIC, and there is a MSME cell which
Yes.
they are promoting. And in every district, in every state, they are actually going ahead and adapting to this new form of interaction. So they are conducting a series of such interactions. I have been a part of many, and only today I got to know that in Chhattisgarh also they have created a services cell also in MSME division. So you see that's a kind of awareness, and there also I'm actually very much buoyed by your appreciation of of the presentation, and definitely our idea is to go to the last mile to make each and every individual aware. And here, in case of services, it's not the machine, it's the human resource that is the key. It's all the skills, the training, in all the services sector, employment of, employability of human resource is more than any other sector. So that's how it's very important to reach out to the individuals, not only to the organization but also to the individuals. We are talking, as sir mentioned, about Atmanirbhar Bharat. There is Startup India, Stand Up India. All those places, we need to actually energize, and we need to go there and talk about it. So I'm
Sir,
actually very happy to be a
sir,
part of this.
FIO was very, Dr. Ajay Sahai, who is a very
Yeah.
effective person. Uh, we discussed with because Uttar Pradesh comes under my territory,
Okay.
and I visit very frequently. There is a scheme of ODOP, one district, one product.
Hmm.
This is the brainchild of course, our Prime Minister and Secretary of Commerce and Commerce Minister. And this has started working very well. Now, in Punjab, I have started in Punjab that meeting all the, this Punjab government said, okay, all the district collectors or the deputy commissioners, they will be the in charge to hold this. But it has not yet started in a big way. But Uttar Pradesh, it has started wonderfully well. See, it is our Prime Minister, Narendra Modi ji, who has given a spark in every department. MSME was a sleeping giant, very honestly. They had very good information, but information used to live on seminars. For example, we know all the officers were coming to the factories of MSMEs, to all the cities. They used to have meetings, but they could not put in the mind of MSME. Only the few MSME members, they could take the benefit of schemes. There are a lot of people also in the cities like Ludhiana, like in Jalandhar, who took advantage of MSME's registration. And now they changed to Udam. Now the Prime Minister, Shri Narendra Modi ji, they made a portal, a gem portal. You can sell anything and everything. See, these certain things are very, very important for us, and we can really take benefit of our new schemes. Today, I mean, everything is on internet. We are not going for any meeting or anything else, and things will be wonderfully changing in the next few years. You will see to it. And I will share my experience. Do we have time, Isma?
Yeah.
Okay. You see, I will share 15, 20 years before, I got a chance to represent National Productive Councils to Taiwan. So we were discussing with the industry department that please tell us what is the secret of your success. They said the industry department, what we call in India our district industry centers, district industry centers, we went house to house. Who is doing what? And there was a association of exporters or or Manufacturers Association, what they did, for example, a person is having a machine. He's running his own old machine, maybe prior to 30 years or 20 years. They said, what is your income? He says, my income is $100. Okay, we give you a new machine. You will have $150, and then you have to produce this product. Here is the die, here is the fuel, here is the raw material. You produce this much, then you get 150. Over and above, you will get incentive. And 10 years later, you will be the owner of the machine. See, I saw myself. We went to a house. The person, he was, this child, they had a dengue, the moving, swinging, and the lady was operating the furnace, and the husband was forging the components. And that was the idea. Initially, if you see India, these industry departments were made to check the industry, who is doing what and how they can help. But that time there was a regime of quotas, which never let us grow. But those people, those companies, those families who came out of that quota business, they have really gone very big now. So this is the treatment. But today we are entering in, and that we have to wake up ourselves. We have to wake up under a cluster development system. The cluster development is very important at today. That under the clusters, you can have a lot of funds from the government, but you can put your all efforts also. I think you will agree with me about the cluster development too.
Okay.
Yes.
So we have Mr. Gopinath sir, who's joining in 5 minutes.
Right.
So if you have any questions in the meanwhile, we can take up from the participants. Somebody has asked about the fee structure for SEPC membership.
I think you can read over the slide for a moment.
Yes, I think some have joined in later, so yes.
This is a fee structure.
Yeah.
Right.
Life membership, individual ordinary, and institutional. So
For private limited.
this can be shared with your members.
Sure, sir. Yes, you can send it across.
You are very reasonable. I mean, you're not expensive, unlike EEPC.
Yeah, EVs is very, very expensive.
Very expensive.
Yeah.
Very good structure.
You're
not doing on turnover basis. Some of the councils.
No, it's a flat rate. In fact, IFT did raise this particular question, as most of the councils are doing on the turnover basis. We are on a flat mode.
That was one of the reasons a lot of people are shifting to FIO.
Yes.
But I think, sir, doctor, for private limited company, I can see that is 35,000 plus GST. Is it okay? Is it right?
Which one? The second one.
The third one. On private limiteds.
Yeah. This one. Yeah.
For the first time, they have to pay only 35,000 plus GST.
Yes, plus GST.
Yeah. So all the schemes that you have told is applicable for this.
For all the categories of the membership.
Yeah, but they must have to go to the membership.
Yes.
Yeah, fine. That is fine. We have a very large database of MSME pan India, so we can explore these things again.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, doctor, we should circulate.
Because service industry, actually, Service Export Promotion Council is one of the backbone of the entire country for any region, any country.
Yes.
No product, no anything can be supplied without service.
Yes.
Nothing can be. We can even we can eat anything without the service.
That's true.
Service is the backbone of the any region, any home, any society. Without providing service, no product can move.
Absolutely, but here lies, when we look at the policy formulation, I don't want to be too critical, but at times all the discourses which happens is more skewed towards merchandise export. We
Right.
do understand the value manufacturing adds to the entire GDP and everything, but you see, this sector is actually, as you just mentioned, I think it's a common thread,
Yeah.
to link with all the manufacturing sector. It's a common thread. You
Right.
can't supply your product. There will be no distribution channel. There will be no marketing services. All these things are integrated very much with the services sector. And as mentioned in the very beginning, this is the only council which takes care of all these services. And in case of merchandise, you do have about 20 other councils. So you see, the importance is quite high, but unfortunately, along the way, that kind of recognition never came the way the services sector should be recognized. And more so because there is a lack of awareness.
Like
Sometimes, as you say, Hanuman, Lord Hanuman was actually like made to be aware of his strength. So it is like that, as I see.
right, but we have to keep
can
these
hope.
programs available. We have to keep continue with this programming, because every human start their day with the service. Because if the milkman is not providing you milk, you cannot start your day.
Yeah,
Service is the backbone, and service is the vital part of the entire entire associations.
absolutely. Good to hear. Good to hear that, and good to know that you cater to the.
We really mean it. We really mean it, and we really value
No,
it.
I appreciate that. Thank you so much for this.
Doctor, I want to add one more thing in this. You see, now this MEIA is going away.
Yeah.
You all know MEIA is going away. And the government before gave a scheme, this ROSTL. And that when they saw that they have to pay the levies and the taxes also on the mining industry, they got confused. Then they said, no. We withdraw this. Then they said, this is RODP.
RODP.
Then they started with the ROTEP. Very interesting that in every association, the EPC, we circulated to the many times, and none of the members want to come forward. Only in every association happens the same. Only the few who are more concerned or who are having a smart leadership, they will get together and make the data, and they will submit to the government. Rest everybody says, oh no, मेरे साथ जो होगा तो वो बाकी सबके साथ ही होगा. कोई तो काम कर रहा होगा वहाँ पे. So this is another problem with our associations. Nobody want to come forward also. Only the people who are concerned or who are on the leadership side, they really work hard on this. This is another problem with the.
The service sector now we've been included in our MSME definition, which is equivalent to our manufacturing also. Earlier, all most of our manufacturing schemes are all related to the manufacturing side, but now from 1st of July onwards, the service has been included, and it is really a good thing that the service, and since service is playing a major role in our economy, and inclusion of this in our MSME definition really plays in a kind of a growth and a boost to the service sectors. And moreover, we have that is the program is organized by NTPC, and we have done jointly with the program in recent exhibition centers last year, and we have also schemes like the marketing assistance schemes, the cluster development programs, the marketing under that public procurement policy, where all the public sector units or ministries, they are supposed to procure minimum 20% of their annual requirement, either from the manufacturing now and the service sector also. So it's a great support they will going to get from the PSUs and all the government ministries. And moreover, and the only problem we are facing here in this case is the financial. Though we have a lot of schemes, financial schemes like Mudra and Stand Up India or PMEGP, all the financial schemes of central government schemes are there, but there are some still. I'm finding some problems with the getting connected with the financial institutions. The financial institutions still they are finding a lot of some kind of the kind of obstruction you can say. They are not supporting the industries or through service sectors or any whatever the project reports. But what I feel now, since now we have opened one portal called champion.gov.in, or the Ministry of MSME portal, where the units, MSME units, either manufacturing or a service sector, they can post their grievances in the portal, and which may be related to the financial institution, financial matters, or the marketing support, or any technical support, so that the immediately the day-to-day basis we are attending the portal and finding out the problems and attending immediately, and talking to the concerned department or the bankers for assisting. So the kind of the fast movement we have taken place in assisting the MSMEs. So here now the services being the most important is also contributing a lot to the economy, and so now we are yet to get some of the clarification from our DCMSME, especially in the case of the financial assistance, the financial schemes, and though we are talking to the bankers and then assisting them. And moreover, another part we are supporting the MSMEs and then which are manufacturing, even the service sectors, the GEM portal, where all the manufacturing units or even the service providers, they can also log into the GEM and then become the part of that as a seller. So they can post their, they can become the seller of the GEM portal, which will not only help them to increase their businesses, but also they will have a definite marketing link. It's because all the buyers are maybe the PSUs or the central government departments and the PSUs. So all these departments, they are the buyers. So it is assured. That is marketing assured. So you can become, once you become the seller in there, it is a kind of the platform, the government platform has been created where you can post your products or services, so which will help them to market their product. Another one is when the point of MSME, we support like delayed payment time. See, whatever the services product you are provided to the buyer, sometimes the delay, the stipulated 45 days what we have given, it may not be stick to that point. It will cross behind that. Sometimes 2 months, 3 months, or 6 months, or near to even some of the cases which are still behind 1 year. In such cases, the business cycle will get separately affected, And to keep them active and then to keep them, their functions more active, they need a funding support. In that case, we have a scheme called trade scheme, the trade receivable discount system, where they can become the part of that system, and there will be one is buyers, sellers, and then the financiers. So all three components are there, and in which if you are a seller, definitely it will help you. The moment you supply goods or services to the buyer, once they accept it, within 15 days, the supplies and goods, once they accept it, then immediately you can release the bill in the platform where the financiers, there are financiers like bankers, and then there are more than 25 bankers are there, and you can go for bill discount immediately. So once you select the particular financiers where it suits for your in rate of interest. Rate of interest, it also becomes very important for the SMEs and service providers. So once they select the particular bank according to their requirement of the rate of interest, so they can immediately approach them and you can go for a bill discounting. And the financiers and the buyers, they are the later portions where the financiers will select the fund from the payment from the buyer. So that is the systems, and it will help the SMEs to continue their businesses, they continue their activities. So this is one of the most important things that MSME developed. So now the since being the services become very important, now it is also helpful for them to increase their businesses. So one is the marketing support, another is the trade schemes, another the public procurement policy, and then moreover now we have started one. Our scheme is cluster development programs, where we have a cluster development program which will help the industries who are working in the similar products and services. They can take the benefits under the cluster development program, and which will in the setting up of the common facility centers. For example, there are 25 to 30 industries are there, and if they want to set up a common facility centers like training centers or testing centers or R&D or any related to the service providing part, that the CFC can be set up. So where we have a funding support up to 20 crores, and already around in Karnataka we have around 12 to 15 clusters we are operating, and these are functioning well, and CFC already been set up. So here the services, what we are talking about today is the important point, because they are covering. Slowly earlier when we are all focusing on the manufacturing, now the service has become the major focus. So that is, they are also a lot of contribution to the economy. So I think the program what being organized by CPC and frequently, and it will give a boost to the service sectors. There are a lot of sectors because a lot of employment has been provided in service sectors. So because of the pandemic, the manufacturing sector is severely affected, and though the manufacturing is affected, but the services what is going on is going increased. For example, the the supply chain in the food supply industries or the IT industries. So all service-based industries, they are working well in the present scenario. The only the problem is with the manufacturing sectors. So and with this, I think there's a CPC doing good work, and more and more I expect the more and more programs and awareness across India, so that the more and more service providers they get benefit, and the more or less the schemes, whatever the MSME schemes are there, and we can also we can also become a part of the CPC and then organize a lot of programs online. So, and recently we have almost done more than 100 webinars after since April. So in the manifestations on different topics, technical topics and financial, marketing, export, import awareness, all these things we are done. So here also, now I want to do some more programs with the CPC. The CPC are jointly organized with us. Definitely, I'm sure that MSME will jointly and organize this for a lot of programs in future. So I think this is short notice because I explained about my MSMEs, And thank you for CPC for giving me an opportunity to clarify MSME schemes and the role what is the service important in our economy. Thank you, madam. Thank you, all the participants. Anything related to MSME schemes, please, I'm ready to answer for that.
Thank you very much, sir, for joining us today and giving insights about the MSME schemes to our audience. If you have any questions, we can take it up now. Do you have any questions from the audience? So Mr. Gopinath sir has been quite a frequent speaker for us, and he's definitely shared before as well about MSME schemes. So I think our audience is quite familiar with you, sir. So if you don't have any questions, we can move to the end of the session.
I would just like to add to what Mr. Rao mentioned. Mr. Rao, thank you. And we definitely look forward to organize lot many programs together with GCPIT and with Ministry of MSME. I'm definitely looking forward to. There are many plans on the anvil, and we'll share the details. So we would like to go ahead.
Thank you. Definitely, we're ready. Thank you, Ken.
Yeah, thank you so much, sir. And yeah, we definitely also look for more sessions from SCPC as well. So I would like to request Mr. Jiten Shah, who is the chairperson for India GCPIT, and he's also the founder and director of QuickMark, which is registered in Kenya, Vadodara, Ahmedabad, and Nairobi. So he will be giving the closing remarks and the vote of thanks. So over to you, Mr. Jiten Shah.
Yeah. Can you hear me?
Sir.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Hello. Good afternoon, everyone who is registering and attending this incredible webinar with Export Promotion Council and MSME Government of India. GCPIT is the fastest growing global communities having 30 plus industry cluster across India, and we are very soon reaching out of more than 100 countries. The main object of GCPIT is promoting foreign trades and Indian MSME worldwide, organizing international trade shows, formulation of trade and economic policies, international legal consultancy, national development strategy to promote scheme of government, and also to establish wide connection with relevant international organizations, trade and investment promotion agencies, commercial association and business circles. We are committed to enhancing services for companies and making positive contribution to development of bilateral and multilateral trade relationship. We at GCPIT really very thankful to Dr. Abhay Sinha, Deputy Director General Service Export Promotion Council, Dr. Gopinath Rao, Deputy Director MSME Development Institute, Government of India, Mr. Ashwini Kumar, Chairperson North from FIO. We are also investing a good time of quality time in future webinars with these organizations, and I am really very thankful to all of you to invest your time and putting very insightful benefits which we are going to give our all GCPIT members. Let me also thank Mr. Mukesh Jagwani, who has visited my Ahmedabad office 1 year back, and we have talked about my vision to encourage and empower the Indian MSME successfully to expand their business globally. And he remembered me and he gave me the chance to work with GCPIT and CIMSME. I also want to thank Mr. Santosh to give a trust on me and to work with a common goal for the GCPIT. Thank you very much for investing your time, all the delegates and government officials. We are looking forward to have more suggestions and more fruitful relationship with GCPIT. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Yes. Thank you so much, Mr. Jiten Shah, for ending on that note. So again, once again, thanks to all the speakers and for being with us today, even though we have some festivities. So thank you, and hope to have many more sessions in the near future.
Thank you, Dr. Mashmita, also, because you are the main backbone of this event.
My pleasure is all mine, sir.
Coordinating with all the delegates and government officials.
My pleasure, sir. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Ashwini, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, Doctor.
I want to request, please share at my email the mobile number or the email details of Jitin Shah, Mr. Gopinath Rao, and Dr. Abhay, please share the details so that I can interact with them directly also.
Right. I also request Mishma to share all the details with the panelist numbers and for future communications.
Sure, sir. We'll do the needful. Yes.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
I will see you very soon, sir.
Bye.
Thank you, sir.
Bye, sir. Bye, sir. Bye, sir.
Yeah. Bye, everyone. Have a great evening.
Bye. Thank you so much.